and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Sandy VCAL PD presents the Sports Corner Podcast.
Let's get ready to rumble!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is 2Sweet Podcast, and today we'll go through some news, reviews, and rumors. Now, we have a lot on the table. We're going to be going through Ring of Honor for the first time ever. We're going to be going through 205 Live. We'll be going through SmackDown. We'll be going through Monday Night Raw, of course. I have predictions for UFC 225. I promised you guys that we will be going over UFC 225. Dominion, New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion. We will be going through predictions for them as well. Oh, boy. Sorry, guys. I need to protect my energy for New Japan and UFC 225 this weekend. There's E3 coming up this next week as well. Gotta protect my energy for that as well. And yeah, so first things first, we're gonna go through the rumors first. First off, Impact Wrestling is involved in Sami Callihan's angle of trying to book on Chris Jericho's cruise. Callihan appears to be a way for Jericho to involve his friend Don Callis' promotion in the cruise without appearing like he's working with another WWE competitor. We don't know what the story is there. Time will tell. Speculations from Wrestling Observer and elsewhere is that Sanity's SmackDown television debut could be delayed due to trademark issues WWE is dealing with. Now, if you guys don't know, Sanity has been drafted from NXT in the Superstar Shakeup this year, and we hardly see anything from Sanity from the past couple of weeks. So hopefully, somewhere after Money in the Bank, we'll see Sanity on SmackDown. The Observer reports Progress Women's Champion Ginny has signed a WWE contract. Progress is a independent wrestling show. I think I have seen it once before. Ginny looked good, so I say bring her to NXT. One of the identical twins who worked in NXT as the Alley brothers has been released from WWE according to Pro Wrestling Sheets. It's not clear why Ariel was let go, although the sites speculate Gabriel could be treated for a head injury. Haven't seen those guys a lot on NXT, but all the best of luck. Jonathan Coachman missed Raw for his Golf Channel job. Yes, Jonathan Coachman is working for Golf. And he says this is the last WWE date he will miss for a while. And yeah, David Otunga replaced him. David Otunga, of all people, replaced Jonathan Coachman. Raw was in Houston, Texas, and Booker T would have been a good fit to replace Jonathan Coachman. I don't see why David Otunga makes a perfect replacement in Houston, Texas, of all places. And speaking of Raw in Texas, I have a huge rant after the rumor mill. Impact Wrestling is involved. Oh, wait, I already went through this one. Sorry about that one. Yeah, here we are. With SmackDown moving to Fox TV, there's already speculation that the brand extension could change in a major way to account for the large audience. Now, there's been word going around saying that the brand extension could end in a few months. We don't know if that's going to be true, that the brand extension is going to end, or SmackDown's going to be moved up to 3 hours. We don't know what the story is, but hopefully, again, time will tell. Per PW Insider, Alicia Fox is scheduled to be at some upcoming TV tapings, but it's unclear when she'll be used again. So, Alicia Fox has been out on an injury. She could be appearing in some NXT live shows and some TV tapings as well, but we don't know when she's going to return to Raw. Nikki Bella is telling TMZ that her and John Cena are working on the relationship, but by all accounts, it looks as though the two are back together. It may not have all been a work all along, but it was definitely played up for television. All played up for Total Bellas. Haven't paid much attention to Total Bellas, but yeah, nah. The Observer says the plans as of now is for Brock Lesnar's next title defense to headline SummerSlam in August. And, Jesus, if Brock Lesnar doesn't lose the the Universal Championship, then by God, some WWE has to do something. And on the subject of Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins is apparently in the running to be Brock Lesnar's opponent. So, for Money in the Bank, we could potentially see Elias beating Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship, and Seth Rollins gets the rematch that he deserves for the Universal Championship. Although, yeah, but by rematch, I mean, like, he'll be taking on Brock Lesnar in a match that's never finished. Braun Strowman and Ember Moon are early betting favorites to win the Money in the Bank ladder matches, though previous rumors suggest the men's winner will come from the SmackDown side. So they could be saying that it could be either Rusev, it could be Samoa Joe, it could be The Miz, and it could be one of the New Day. I don't know. David Bixenspan. I don't know that's how you pronounce his last name, but I'm gonna continue with this rumor anyways. Notes that Hidden Gems on WWE Network will be one match most weeks, though that could change at times. So some late matches in early WWE could change. Per PW Insider, Eli Drake is still in talks with Impact Wrestling about signing a new deal, and there is an offer for him already. So, Eli Drake is a really good wrestler on TNA, though I don't tune into a lot of TNA. Though I heard that Eli Drake is great, I think he should move on to NXT as well. Shawn Michaels opened for one more match. I was reading this article last night by Brian Rose. I hope you don't guys mind me reading through this. Okay, so from Brian Rose. For the first time since retiring 8 years ago, Shawn Michaels has expressed interest in returning to the ring. In an interview with Sky Sports, Michaels now says that he doesn't dismiss the idea of returning to the ring for a one-off. It would have, this is from Shawn Michaels, by the way. It would have to be done the right way and just for one match rather than something that's ran for longer, he told them. It could be possible for people would have to accept that wouldn't be getting the showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania, that I'm 52 years old. Michaels last wrestled at WrestleMania 26 back in 2010, losing to The Undertaker in a Streak vs. Career match. After giving his farewell speech the next night on Raw, he has sporadically appeared on WWE programming in a non-wrestling capacity. He currently helps train wrestlers at the WWE Performance Center. In the article, Shawn Michaels mentioned Daniel Bryan, Johnny Gargano, and AJ Styles as people he would like to face if he were the Shawn Michaels of 10 years ago. And as a Shawn Michaels fan personally, I would really love to see him wrestle one more match. Though he's in his prime, I don't think he could wrestle another match like Goldberg and The Undertaker in old age, and Shawn Michaels would wrestle for one more match like The Undertaker and Goldberg. Lio Rush is heading to 205 Live. Now, I'm a fan of Lio Rush, and for him coming up to NXT, he was hardly used well in NXT. Though for him to move up to 205 Live, I say this is a perfect move. Lio Rush deserves the spotlight. Per PW Insider, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon missed Raw this week to be in Los Angeles to get ready for a WWE event centered around trying to get the show nominated for an Emmy Award. After the last couple of weeks, it doesn't deserve anything. AAA is running Madison Square Garden in September, according to PW Insider. Now, AAA Wrestling is a lucha libre kind of wrestling organization. Though for a non-WWE company running Madison Square Garden, this is good. I absolutely like this. What's more, there is apparently an issue between management at the Garden and WWE, who have been holding more and more events at the Barclays Center. This is opening the doors for other pro wrestling promotions, it seems. So yeah, with WWE not using Madison Square Garden for the time being, hey, other pro wrestling organizations are open to Madison Square Garden, like Ring of Honor, New Japan, the already mentioned AAA Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Progress Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, all kinds of pro wrestling promotions. Seth Rollins' finisher is now just called The Stomp, says Wrestling Inc. The fact that Seth Rollins' curb stomp is being called The Stomp is absolutely despicable. It's disgusting in its own right. Finally, WrestleVotes notes that while there has been speculations about a Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle match, it doesn't seem to be word of that going around within WWE. If you don't know, Baron Corbin is now the Constable of Raw. So he goes from a horrible run on SmackDown to a horrific run on Raw, and now Constable of Raw. Awesome work. Awesome work. Future WWE Champion Baron Corbin, now Constable of WWE Raw. Awesome work. All right, on to the reviews. You people know how this works. The show opened up with Elias. He was talking about how garbage Houston, Texas was, and how the Rockets choked against the Warriors. Now, I am a Rockets fan. I did say this last episode, though. Elias did a really good job on insulting the fans of Houston, Texas, and the fans of the Rockets. Seth Rollins comes out and he has a chair in hand and knocks out Elias's guitar. And later in comes Jinder Mahal, then Roman Reigns, then Kurt Angle comes in and says, "We're gonna have a tag team match right now," and it's the same bull crap that has been happening for the past couple of weeks, and I'm getting sick and death of this. This is literally the same match, just with Elias. A tag team match between Mahal, Elias, Rollins, and Reigns. It's the same stuff, just done horribly. Though, the team of Elias and Jinder Mahal wins because of Elias DDTing Rollins on the chair and then hitting Drift Away to get the win. It was an alright way to open the show. I get this. 2 1/4. Oh, God. I really don't want to go through this match. Kurt Hawkins versus James Harden. This is the most disgusting, despicable, and disrespecting garbage I have seen since This Is Your Life, since Sami Zayn exposing Bobby Lashley, and that tag team barbecue. This James Harden doesn't even have dark skin. He doesn't have a beard like James Harden. He doesn't even have hair like James Harden. This guy is probably not even from Houston, Texas. What makes you think that this James Harden is from Houston, Texas, and is the actual James Harden? James Harden is an all-star and an NBA champion material player. This guy is not even wrestling material. The same will be said about Kurt Hawkins. This felt like an impromptu match. Thank God that Baron Corbin came in and DQ'd this match. Ugh, my God. This was horrible, this match. Though James Harden, the white version, wins this match via disqualification because of Baron Corbin. This match looked terrible. And I highly doubt this guy's name is James Harden. This was disrespectful at its finest. Nia Jax versus Natalya. Do I care about Nia Jax? No. Nia Jax is looking terrible. She goes from being bullied to being the bullier to being the bully and back to being a girl who has feelings for the females of the women's division. I don't know what WWE is doing with Nia Jax now. From the irresistible force, the monster of the women's division, to a woman who is being bullied by Alexa Bliss, and a woman who goes ahead and tells the little girls to stand up and take control. Like, don't be bullied. Stand up for yourselves and all that stuff. And now back to being the bully. And then to a woman who has feelings and cares about the women of the Raw Women's Division. I don't like Nia Jax whatsoever right now. WWE is booking Nia Jax terribly with this feud with Ronda Rousey. Smiley Ronda Rousey. Second consecutive week she was on commentary. And God, get Ronda Rousey off my TV. Or turn her heel. Do whatever you want with her. Natalya tweaked her knee during this match, though. So speculations are going around saying that Natalya could be injured and out of the women's Money in the Bank, and another open opportunity to join the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You know, like a bunch of women who missed out, like the Riot Squad, Bayley. Who else was there? Dana Brooke. All these other females who lost the gauntlet match. Though Nia Jax wins from a Samoan drop. And after that, Jax Rousey was shared an awkward stare down over an injured Natalya. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is looking terrible on Raw. From being one of the best heels on NXT to being one of the biggest jokes on Raw right now. I don't know how you can mess up Bobby Roode. And I said this tons of times before. I said, how can you mess up Samoa Joe? How can you mess up Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Elias, and a bunch of other blokes? But messing up Bobby Roode? I don't know how WWE can do this. But the way how they made Bobby Roode look on Raw this week, they made him look like a dick. They made him look like a dick. From being the glorious one to the glorious scaredy cat. Though with Braun Strowman smashing the ladder. I was absolutely shocked. That was actually one of the best moments of Raw this week. The Braun Strowman wins. Don't care. The Tag Team Battle Royal. Where's the Authors of Pain? That's the first thing I want to know. It's been a month and we have no Authors of Pain and no Paul Ellering whatsoever. Where are they? This is a Tag Team Battle Royal and there's no Authors of Pain. This is beyond stupid right here. And what's even more stupid is that Breezango eliminates Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre first. You have one of the worst teams to ever be on the WWE roster right now, eliminating the best team on the roster right now, and nothing helps. Like, with the Tag Team Battle Royal that happened on SmackDown, I think it was a few years ago, one tag team partner gets eliminated, and the other stays in there to represent the team so they can get the number one contendership spot. But when this Tag Team Battle Royal happens, it's just one man gets eliminated, one man gets thrown over the top rope, and then the team as a whole gets eliminated. I don't know how that works. Drew McIntyre looked shocked, and I can't blame him. He should either go back to NXT or go back to Impact Wrestling. He had better runs there. Or go back to Evolve Wrestling, or Defiant Wrestling, sorry. Yeah, and Evolve Wrestling. So the B team wins. Should I care? No. I don't care about this feud with the B team and the Deleter of Worlds. I don't care about the B team themselves. I don't care about the tag team division at all. The only tag team that I care about are the Revival and Ziggler and McIntyre. The Revival are looking terrible. And Ziggler and McIntyre looked terrible in that match. Push these two teams. I'm sick and tired of looking at these two teams and they get jobbed out like that. They don't deserve to be jobbed out. Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. Again. And this time they argued over Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen. So you go from Sami Zayn interviewing 3 men dressed as women. You go from Bobby Lashley going all smiling, happy, and all this stuff. And then we go from Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn arguing, and then Sami showing Instagram posts of Bobby Lashley. Deep down, I feel sorry for Sami Zayn. No jokes. Sami Zayn deserves everything. But he doesn't deserve this feud with Bobby Lashley. I hope as soon as that match at Money in the Bank is finished, done. Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley should be separated from each other, and Sami can pair up with Kevin Owens. The Riot Squad versus Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Ember Moon. This match I don't give a rat's ass about this match. It's the same stuff like they did a couple months ago. Another 6-man women tag team match here, another tag team match there, another tag team match here, and another match there, all the way to the end. But the only difference here is that one heel pairs up with 2 baby faces, and then they take on other heels. So explain to me how this works. With Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Ember Moon, you have Alexa Bliss as a heel and Banks and Moon as baby faces. I'm not sure how that works. Though the Riot Squad won because of disqualification, and Bayley comes in after Alexa Bliss abandoned them because of a faked hamstring injury. making this match just a 3-on-2, and then Bayley comes in, replaces Bliss, makes the tag to Sasha Banks, Bayley to belly. 1, 2, 3, and as soon as the match was finished, Baron Corbin convinced Kurt Angle to reverse the decision. And speaking of disqualifications, like earlier in the review, I said that Elias and Jinder Mahal won because of Elias DDTing Rollins onto a chair. That should have been a disqualification, if you ask me. That should have been a disqualification because Elias DDT'd Seth Rollins on an illegal object. And yet the referee allows this. The referee just goes ahead and pretend like that never happened. Beyond stupid, that. The main event, Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. And they stated it was the first time. So are we supposed to pretend that NXT TakeOver Brooklyn didn't happen? Are we supposed to pretend that a bunch of other encounters in NXT didn't happen? Complete stupidity in Raw right now. Though the match was fine and Kevin Owens lost because of his disqualification. And this is another argument for the disqualifications on Raw. With Elias DDTing Rollins on the chair, you actually allow Bayley come in and DQ Banks and Moon, and yet this is allowed a disqualification? Get out of here, man. Though the match was fine, and a little twist at the end with Kevin Owens going to frog splash Finn Balor off the ladder and pretended like he was faking it, like he was scared to do it. But Finn Balor just jumps right back up and pretend like that beatdown was nothing, and then takes out Kevin Owens, and then does a coup de grace onto Kevin Owens. Not literally onto Kevin Owens, but onto the side of Kevin Owens. Though, that's Raw. Don't give a rat's ass about it. SmackDown. Carmella promised to unmask Asuka. And can I just say this about Asuka? Carmella, sorry. She is probably the most annoying women's champion there is. There's Jillian Hall. No, don't get me wrong. She is annoying. But I think Carmella takes the title of most annoying champion in women's wrestling. And footage of Asuka being undefeated and then losing at WrestleMania, losing the next night on SmackDown, and Asuka comes out and I don't know. I really wanted to forget that segment with Asuka and Carmella because this feud is looking terrible, if you ask me. Like, Carmella, she doesn't deserve the women's championship at all right now. Though Asuka, she deserved it since WrestleMania. Asuka deserved it since WrestleMania, and for good reason. She should still be undefeated, still rolling through the women's division like they're nothing. And they were interrupted by Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and said that they could take on Asuka themselves. So Paige comes out and gives Asuka a decision on who should she take on. Either Rose or Deville. She wanted both. That's the match. And Asuka easily kicked their ass. Though, during this match with Carmella interfering in this match, like, Deville had a good chance of beating Asuka. Like, she should have run up, go for the roll up, 1, 2, and 3. That's what Deville should have done, if you ask me. Though Asuka still kicking ass, I did enjoy her performance, and I'm gonna move on. Carl Anderson versus Luke Harper. I was shocked by the ending, if you ask me. With Carl Anderson rolling up Luke Harper, it sort of tells you all that the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win this tag team title match. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love the team of Guns and Gallows, and I love the Bludgeon Brothers as well. But I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win at Money in the Bank, if you ask me. Naomi and Jimmy Uso versus Aiden English and Lana. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, I've been enjoying Lana with Rusev Day. Them singing Lana is the best. Lana's number one. Like I said, I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying Lana with Rusev Day. Though with Jimmy Uso and Naomi, I'm getting a little confused on why Naomi is being associated with the Usos. Like, I get it. Jimmy and Naomi are a married couple. They are husband and wife, but still they just don't gel together. They don't go together in wrestling, if you ask me. The Usos should run as heels, and Naomi should run as a babyface, but lose the glow gimmick. Run as a babyface, but lose the glow gimmick. Though, the match was good. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura with a contract signing. This was the best segment of the show. I loved AJ Styles and Nakamura with their contract signing. And Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura, he looked awesome in that contract signing. You know, he was all, "Pen, what's this pen here?" And then saying, "There's no ink. There is no ink at all in this pen." Shinsuke Nakamura, he so deserves the World Heavyweight Championship. If WWE does not see this, I don't know what they can find in Shinsuke Nakamura. And with AJ Styles bitch slapping Shinsuke Nakamura, I was all in on this segment. Don't get me wrong. Styles and Nakamura, they go together so well. Really, really well together. And explain to me, when you think of WWE Champion, when you think of people who are deserving of WWE Champion, you think of Shinsuke Nakamura. And explain to me, when you listen to this music, they don't go all excited for this man. Done an amazing job as a heel and should be in the run for a World Heavyweight Championship. Shinsuke deserves it all. Now, explain to me who doesn't want to cheer for him. That is World Heavyweight Championship material, if you ask me. Shinsuke Nakamura deserves the World Heavyweight Championship. If WWE does not see this, they should just leave the wrestling business. Next, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. I was so intrigued with the ending. Becky Lynch and Charlotte, they do make an amazing match together tonight on that SmackDown. Though Becky Lynch won from a disarm her. Charlotte tapping out to her best friend. This could lead to some dissension in the two. Big Cass promised to beat up Daniel Bryan at Money in the Bank. And speaking of Big Cass, I'm really getting sick and tired of him raising the arm up. You know, like, he just raises the arm up like he's the best, like, all... and this stuff. Just raises the arm up like he's nothing. Sin Cara was in an interview, but was interrupted by Zelina Vega. And then was attacked by Andrade Cien Almas, which has led to a match between the two next week. And boy, oh boy, I'm excited for Andrade for some real competition. He deserves everything. Andrade Almas. The New Day versus Miz, Rusev, and Samoa Joe. I absolutely enjoyed that tag team match. And at the ending, where the Miz chucked pancakes at Rusev and Joe, I did get a laugh out of it. I did laugh to Miz chucking pancakes at Rusev and Joe. And then Rusev just Machka kick at the Miz. And Samoa Joe should have done a muscle buster on the Miz as well. If you want to bash up the Miz more for throwing pancakes at them, do a muscle buster. So the New Day wins. So yeah, SmackDown, like I said before, it's looking great again. SmackDown is great again. All right, that's SmackDown. On to 205 Live. Lince Dorado versus Brian Kendrick. And first of all, can I just say 205 Live is looking amazing as well. All right, so with Lince Dorado and this Lucha House Party, like I'm really getting confused on this Lucha House Party, you know? Like I get it, it's a bunch of luchadors and some sort of twirly things. I don't know what they're called. I do not know what they're called. But yeah, with Lince Dorado, the guy's looking great. The guy's looking good with Grand Metalik and Kalisto. And Brian Kendrick. I didn't find anything of Gentleman Jack Gallagher. There was no sign of Jack Gallagher. There was just Drew Gulak, and then he went to commentary. Although I did enjoy Drew Gulak's commentary during this entire match, like calling Lince Dorado Lince Dorito. It made me laugh. Explain to me how Drew Gulak is not even champion. This guy deserves it. The guy deserves the Cruiserweight Championship. There's a bunch of others who deserve the Cruiserweight Championship as well. There's TJ Perkins and Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy as well. There's also Jack Gallagher as well. There's also Leo Rush, like I said before. As soon as Ricochet moves up to the main roster, I think he's worthy of a Cruiserweight Championship if Triple H moves him up to the Cruiserweight division. I'm not sure. But this match was good. Lince Dorado wins. I say it's worthy of a three star. TJ Perkins versus Brian Keith. This was another jobber. Brian Keith. And Nigel McGuinness actually went ahead and called Brian Keith a cowboy. Though, he looked more than a cowboy. He looked like one of the Sin brothers, you know? Like, he had the jeans, had the top, and all that stuff. Keith looked like a Sin brother. And TJP was actually talking through the whole match. Like, he had the mic and then just bashing the hell out of Brian Keith. And said that he's more interested in going to either Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. If TJP doesn't get the push that he deserves, then I say move him to SmackDown or NXT. Raw's not the perfect place. TJP wins, and yeah. For next week's 205 Live, there's a 6-man tag team match with the Lucha House Party, Drew Gulak, Brian Kendrick, and Gentleman Jack Gallagher. So I'm hoping this feud, it does end. Like, I'm still a little confused on the Lucha House Party because I don't know what WWE is thinking with Lucha House Party. The main event, Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy. And both these guys, they also look incredible. And when you think of Cruiserweight Championship, when I think of Cruiserweight Champion, I think of Mustafa Ali. I think this guy is the Seth Rollins of the Cruiserweight division. That kid is incredible at what he does. Mustafa Ali. And his match at WrestleMania with Cedric Alexander, it looked great. It deserved to be a main card match, if you ask me. And explain to me explain to me how this guy is not even Cruiserweight champion yet? Because this guy deserves to be Cruiserweight champion. Don't get me wrong. This guy's incredible. When you think of Cruiserweight championship, you would think of this guy. Seriously, Mustafa Ali deserves the Cruiserweight Championship. No question needed. Though this match felt like a 4.5-star match, Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali go so well together. Though the match ended in a disqualification because of Hideo Itami, another guy who is worth Cruiserweight Champion. Though I think this could lead to a triple threat number 1 contenders match, Have Ali, Murphy, and Itami for a chance to become number 1 contender for Cedric Alexander and the Cruiserweight Championship. 205 Live is looking like the Beast Show. Like, when you look at some WWE programming, you think of NXT, that is the A show, 205 Live and SmackDown, which is equally the B show. And when you look at Raw, you can see not the C, not the D, not the E. I said F before. Last time I was here alone. When you think of Raw, you think of it as the F show. Though with NXT, A show, 205 Live and SmackDown Live, equally the B show. Raw, F show. Ring of Honor. Cody Rhodes started off Ring of Honor with Bernard, the business bear. Now, I had a laugh at Bernard. This business bear looks good. And he was talking about his best in the world triple threat match with him, Marty Scurll, and Dalton Castle. And Jesus, with the way how Scurll and Cody Rhodes interacted with each other, it was so good. Marty Scurll bending the fingers of Cody Rhodes, sending him a little message for this month's Best in the World pay-per-view, which we will go over as well. We will go over as well for the show as well. Best in the World is worth a review on the show. The same will be said about UFC 225 and New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion, which we will go over as well. Don't get me wrong. Both those shows are worth going over. Now, on to the matches. Tennille Dashwood versus Karen Q. If you don't know who Tennille Dashwood is, it's Emma, who recently signed with Ring of Honor. And I gotta say, she's having a better run in Ring of Honor than she did with WWE. Tennille Dashwood looks incredible. As an Aussie representative for professional wrestling, and as a wrestling fan who supports his Australian wrestlers, I say Emma is doing a really good job in Ring of Honor. And her match with Karen Q, it was also really good. It was also good. The women in Ring of Honor, or Women of Honor as they call it, they are so good. They are actually doing better than what WWE is doing with their women's division. Ring of Honor with their women's division, top notch. And I gotta say, with Karen Q, this is the first time I looked at this woman. I say she's really good, Karen Q. Tennille wins, and I gotta say, give Emma the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. She's so deserving of it. There was some promos going around for Best in the World as well, with Punishment Martinez versus Hangman Page, which is a feud that's been going on for quite some time as well. And I've talked about Punishment Martinez before. He's a big guy, and he can pull off some high-flying moves. That guy is incredible, Punishment Martinez. And Jesus, that guy is worth television championship. This guy is worth a television championship. Speaking of championships, the Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe are going to be taking on the Young Bucks at Best in the World as well. And I will be going through my predictions down the line as well for Best in the World. And next up, Ring of Honor TV Championship match between Silas Young and the returning Austin Aries. Yes, Austin Aries returns to Ring of Honor to have the one title that he didn't get during his run with Ring of Honor. And this match looked incredible. Silas Young and Austin Aries, they jammed so good together. Though during the match, the referee was bumped and down came Beer City Bruiser to help out Silas Young retain the ROH TV Championship. And then Kenny King, who is Austin Aries' friend, as they say, helps out Austin Aries to take out the Beer City Bruiser. And while the referee was laid out, Kenny King grabbed the ROH TV title, nailed it to Silas Young, and then Austin Aries went for the cover, 1, 2, 3, and Austin Aries was supposed to be the winner, but another referee came in and overturned the decision. When I was watching Ring of Honor the other night, I was saying they're going to reverse the decision, in which they did. Though Silas won via disqualification, and Austin Aries was out of his mind. Like, he lost it. He kicked the referee in the nuts. And that was the most funniest thing I have seen from a wrestler. Kicking the referee in the nuts with a low blow. That is the best I have seen from a wrestler ever. And then he goes ahead and takes out Kenny King. And with the belt collector so pissed off, you would expect something like that. And a brainbuster on Kenny King and the last chancer on Kenny King to close out the show. And yeah, with all of that, I think this could be leading to an Austin Aries and Kenny King match. Or possibly a triple threat match. A triple threat match between Aries, Kenny King, and Silas Young. Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking for Best in the World. So that's it for Ring of Honor. Now on to my predictions for UFC 225 and and New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion. So for this to work, I'm going to be going through the main card for UFC 225. I'm not going to go over the whole card. Like, I'm not going to go over the pre-show cards and all this other stuff. But for this to work, I'm going to be going through the main card. I'm going to be going through the main show. For CM Punk versus Mike Jackson, I got to say, I'm hoping for CM Punk to win this match. I'm hoping for Punk to win this so he can continue a role in UFC. If not, then Mike Jackson, if he doesn't win it, then Mike Jackson can, if he doesn't win it, then he can go back to professional wrestling if Mike Jackson wins. Andrei Arlovsky versus Tai Tuivasa. This is a heavyweight match. I'm not sure if this worked. For this fight, I gotta say Tai Tuivasa to win this match. Holly Holm versus Megan Anderson. I gotta say Holly Holmes. Holly Holmes for this one. She is a good women's MMA fighter. So I say give her the win. Rafael dos Anjos versus Colby Covington for the inaugural welterweight championship. For this match, I gotta say Rafael dos Anjos. I don't know if Don was here, he would help me out with the UFC 225 card, because I don't know who else was good. I don't know who was bad. I'm not sure. Though I do know CM Punk. He did look beaten in UFC 203. But with his returning match in UFC 225, I'm hoping he has a better chance. And Holly Holmes, I know Holly Holmes. She beat the undefeated Ronda Rousey and won the women's championship from her. Finally, Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero. Now, this is the main event for UFC 225. For this match, I'm going to be going for Robert Whittaker because he's representing New Zealand, and New Zealand is a next door neighbor to Australia, so I gotta represent some of the New Zealanders as well. All right, so that'll do for UFC. Now time for New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion. I'm more excited for this pay-per-view than Money in the Bank. Don't get me wrong. With a card like this, Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito versus Chris Jericho, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega, number 4, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Rey Mysterio versus the Bullet Club, Los Ingobernables de Japón versus the Young Bucks, Hiroki Goto, Michael Elgin, and Taichi. This card looks incredible, if you ask me. So match 1, Suzuki Gun's El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Roppongi 3K's Sho and Yo for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. For this match, I don't know, I gotta say Roppongi 3K. I did watch their match with the Young Bucks at Wrestle Kingdom 12. They did look great in that match, by the way. I say give them the win, give them the Junior Tag Team titles, and yeah. Taguchi Japan's Juice Robinson and David Finlay versus Chaos's Jay White and Yoshihashi. And David Finlay is the son of Fit Finlay as well. Just a little heads up. So yeah, for this match, I gotta say Chaos to win the match because Jay White, he looks incredible. Jay White, probably one of the best IWGP United States champions there is, aside from Kenny Omega. I say, yeah, give Jay White and Yoshihashi the win. Although I do know Juice Robinson. He was CJ Perkins, I think, from NXT. So yeah, Chaos for the win. Chaos is Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano versus Suzuki Gun's Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. Just to clarify things, I don't like Toru Yano at all. I don't like how he cheats his way into winning. I get it, it's his gimmick, but still, you have to go out there and wrestle the fair way. So Tomohiro Ishii, I do like this guy a lot. I have seen a couple of matches with Tomohiro Ishii. And Minoru Suzuki, his match with Hiroki Goto was amazing at Wrestle Kingdom 12. And Zack Sabre Jr., that kid is incredible at the Cruiserweight Classic. The fact that he's not in the UK Championship is beyond me. The fact that he's not in it is beyond me. So for this match, I gotta say Suzuki Gun. Suzuki Gun for the win. Goto, Elgin, and Taichi for the Never Openweight Championship. A triple threat match. I have seen I have seen the 3 of these guys, and Elgin and Goto I am more impressed with than Taichi. Now, Taichi I do like from Los Ingobernables de Japón, I think. Though I still prefer Elgin and Goto over him. Though for this match, I say Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin for the win. Los Ingobernables de Japón's Sanada and Evil versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson for the IWGP Tag Team Championships. They're not going for juniors anymore, the Young Bucks. They're going for the big leagues now. So yeah, for the Young Bucks, I gotta say, give them the win. Give the Young Bucks the win, because they deserve the gold. 6-man tag team match between Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Rey Mysterio versus the Bullet Club's Cody Rhodes, Hangman Page, and Marty Scurll. For this match, this is Rey Mysterio's return to New Japan. And he was supposed to be scheduled in a match with Jushin Thunder Liger, but was canceled due to injury, which is why Will Ospreay took over. Though I'm happy that Rey Mysterio is going to be wrestling in Dominion this weekend. And for this match, Mysterio, Liger, and Tanahashi. As much as I love the Bullet Club, I say give Rey Mysterio, Liger, Tanahashi the win. Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now, this is another match that I am super excited for. With Hiromu Takahashi winning the Best of the Super Juniors just this month, I say Hiromu Takahashi, I think he's going to have a great match with Will Ospreay this weekend at Dominion. So for this match, I got to say Will Ospreay. I think Will Ospreay is worth the win. Tetsuya Naito versus Chris Jericho for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. I'm hoping this match is equally great as Jericho and Omega. With Chris Jericho, I gotta say, he's doing a better run in New Japan than WWE. I love this rated TVMA Chris Jericho, with all the swearing and all this stuff. And this whole Attitude Era Chris Jericho, the badass Chris Jericho, this is what I like from him. This is the Chris Jericho that I now like, instead of the you just made the list. Don't get me wrong, the list of Jericho is really, really good. But with the New Japan Chris Jericho, this is awesome. But for this match, I'm going to say Tetsuya Naito for the win. I'm not saying that I'm hoping Chris Jericho loses. I'm still thinking that he's under contract with WWE and he could be going back to WWE anytime soon. But Naito, I think he's going to have an awesome match with Jericho, and Jericho can go back to WWE and be the best there. Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega, number 4. In a no time limit 2 out of 3 falls match for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. If the last 3 matches didn't impress you, look at number 4 right now. Look at number 4. This could be the match of the year. Don't worry about Naito and Okada and Jericho and Omega. They're up there. They are up there. But with Okada and Naito, Okada and Omega, number 4, I think this could be the best match. No time limits. 2 out of 3 falls. I think this could close out Dominion with a bang. But I say for this match, Kenny Omega for the win. I think that Kenny Omega is going to win this match. Now, I know that for the past 3 occasions where Omega took on Okada, he didn't win the matches. Wrestle Kingdom 11, Dominion last year, and G1 Climax last year as well. 3 matches in 1 year they had together. It was incredible. Those 3 matches were the best out of the wrestling year last year. But for this match, I say this match alone is going to be the best this year. This match will be the best this year. It'll be 6 stars, this match. For this match, Kenny Omega for the win. This is Kenny Omega's time. He hasn't won the heavyweight title yet. I say this is his time. Okada has nothing else left to do with the IWGP heavyweight title, and has held it for more than 2 years at this point. So, yeah, there's nothing else left for Okada. He can move on to NXT and hold the NXT championship for the same amount of years as he did with the title in the IWGP title in Japan, and be the best in NXT. Be the Shinsuke Nakamura of NXT. All right, that's it for my that's it for 2Sweet podcast. If you like this, hit that like button, and for next show, as promised, I will be going over Dominion and UFC 225. I will be going over more Ring of Honor, New Japan Ring of Honor, 205 Live as I did this show, and I will enjoy my time off for the time being. I won't be on for next week. We have some alcohol, some learning stuff about alcohol next week. So we will be off next week, but for the next week after next week, we will be back on for some more wrestling. All right, here we go. Responsible service of alcohol. So we will be off next Thursday for the service of alcohol, and we will be on the next week after next week. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys until then. 2Sweet. Good night, folks.
Y'all ready for this?